Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Helck episode 20, in which... I don't know, honestly, I don't know. Helck and Vermilio will probably continue their journey, not towards the demon country capital anymore, but rather to some border city in preparations for the invasion of the human realm. What happened in the previous episode? We got the tail end of the flashback. Helck facing off against the king. Again, not really against the king. He didn't even get to the king. He was stabbed by Zelgion, Mikaros, and Rafaed. Rafaed is really shady, really sus. How nothing, the king just completely got rid of all of the royalty and all of the nobility, but Rafaed is somehow vital to his plans. I know what's up with that, but yeah, Rafaed is still around. We learned that apparently killing the king won't do us any good because all of the ascended, awakened, whatever you want to call them, the angels, the heroes, they only behave well, quote unquote, because they are being controlled by the king. As soon as you kill the king, as soon as all control over them is lost, they will start just rampaging and killing each other and everybody around. So it really seems like killing the king is not a silver bullet, assuming, of course, we believe Rafaed and Mikaros. Rafaed, I would even be inclined to believe. Mikaros, not as far as I can throw him. Helck then gets sucked up by a portal created by Mikaros using Kless's powers, and he lands in the world of the demons and gets rescued by Keneros. That's why they are so friendly, so buddy-buddy nowadays. And we go back to current time, finally. After all these years, the flashback is over. We go back to current time, and we continue our travels on a train, running through the middle of the desert. Apparently, they have a very interesting system of stops there. You raise a flag and the train just stops there. That's cool. We travel that. Vermilio and Helck even have some fun, some relaxation. Helck has the time to read some books. They can finally eat well. Then again, Helck's cooking is pretty damn good, so it's not like they were hurting for good food on their travels. Then again, I don't suppose any sort of a, mobile campsite and a fireplace is quite as good as something that comes out of a proper kitchen. There we go. I was looking for some glasses cleaning thingamajigs. There we go. We also meet a harpy that was sent to look for Vermilio, specifically Vermilio, but also besides that for Helck, of course. She kind of misses them on the train, but later on she finds them. She finds them after Helck and Vermilio defeat some sort of a monster beast, and they are having a little bit of a feast, a little bit of a party in the town that was terrorized by that very monster. The harpy girl spots them and gives them a letter. Vermilio gives Vermilio a letter from Azedra, and that letter tells them that they shouldn't go to the capital, but rather they should head towards one of the border cities, most probably in preparation for the invasion of the human country. And of course, in the meanwhile, Vermilio confesses to Helck that, hey, I'm not Annie, I'm Vermilio, I'm one of the demon lords, and she takes the hero killer, hero slayer, just as Helck requested. Everything is out in the open now. They can finally fully confide in each other, fully trust each other. Cool shit. What do I expect from today's episode? Probably a journey to that border city. I don't suppose we are quite close enough to that, so I would say we have at least a couple of episodes of traveling, unless they just give us either a time skip or they give us a clip show of all the adventures they had, and then we finally, eventually find ourselves in the border city where they were supposed to go, and the invasion begins. Although the invasion beginning is really something that I would suspect will be left for the finale. I'm not sure though. I'm honestly not sure. It could be anything really. The finale might as well be Helck going against Alicia in a big battle, and I don't know. Could be anything, honestly. So, how about we stop speculating and just see for ourselves what's gonna happen, right? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my... Which side is left? This side is left. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, of course. And I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 20 of Helck in 3, 2, 1, go. And we also get another recap. Harpy. Happy, no happy. Slept well? My cat slept on the windowsill, and she always uses my leg as a stepladder to get from the windowsill to my desk, to my leg, to my bed, to the floor. Oh, and Pee-wee likes trains, so that's another thing that happened in the previous episode. I wonder, should I angle this mic closer to my face? I don't know if it sounds any better. One of these days I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know, make a live stream or something, maybe public for you guys, or maybe with a friend or two, and fine-tune my sound so that, you know, it's perfect. Because I'm still not entirely happy with the quality of the sound. I still believe it can sound better. It clips some of my, I don't know, laughter. If I don't laugh loud enough, you just can't hear it, because I'm clipping out the noise. But besides the noise, it also clips out... yeah, you know what I mean. Regardless, Helck. Or rather, Mikaros's... not timeline. Perspective. His army's perspective. Kenros still fighting without weapons. Interesting. and managing to completely avoid Edil's strikes. Oh, you remember her name. That's good. And she has a fandom, of course. Well, that was a cool line. I gotta say. Yeah, you have no chance with her. You're being torn limb from limb so far. Too late. Someone already killed him. Alice. Alicia. Probably. We still can't be sure because we haven't seen her face, but the fact that the face is obstructed with a helmet already speaks volumes. And she uses a bow. And she also had the Hero Slayer, one part of it, so. Okay, so we rolled. Oh, not necessarily rolled back. Azadra doesn't know that Vermilio has been found yet, so. Okay. Helck and Vermilio are plenty. Yeah, a team consisting of Hura, Dorsh, Kenros. Maybe Asdra himself would probably also manage. Yeah, fair. Let them become overconfident. Mikaros? Rafaed? Mikaros. Yeah, that's also fair. Is like class here, maybe? I don't think so, but yeah, better nothing better happened to Asta. And also it's completely barren of people. Which I guess also acts to her disadvantage. Uh, because she can't blend in with the crowd, right? Because there's no crowd to blend in with. Oh? Is it the castle that's the key? It's not Mikaros. It's not the king. It's the castle itself. Mzelgion? Useful. Oh. Okay, placebo. Did she spot her? Eh. Arguable. Is. Oh, that's where Kless is. Yep, that's Kless's chamber. Huh. That's Helck's brother. Okay, I really did not expect Asta to find Kless. Do you have like a emergency teleport or something? Could probably use an item like that, right? Well, where does it lead? The sewers. Get the fuck out of the city. And she probably doesn't need them either. Yeah. She's the perfect spy. Doesn't need any gadgets. Or she just likes seeing green. Oh, secret chamber? Is she gonna find the king or something? Or, I know, imprisoned Shalami. Well, that's a priceless source of intel. Grab it and bail. Considering there is a proper entrance, chances are someone still visits this room, or at least can visit it, so. Too late. Or maybe not. It's not gonna open. It only opens on one side. Jump out of the window. Or just run. Sure, that also works. It really helps that those guards are quite literally brain dead. Through the window. This is not guard's footsteps. Rafaed? Rafaed. His face obstructed by a beam of light. Curious. Why would they not show us Rafaed's face? He's gonna spot Asta? No. And she probably doesn't need those either. Because she has her own claws. Exactly. Why would they not show us Rafaed's face? King's Chamber? Mikaros's place? That's risky business, jumping through any random window. Oh, hello, Sharami. Okay, you look normal. Is she being kept in the dark? Is Shalami being kept in the dark about the state of the world? She's acting way calm for the kind of world we live in. They live in. No, you're not going anywhere. Okay. Okay, so she doesn't know what's going on. At least as far as Helck and Kles are concerned. That's a very good question. Why is she and Rafaed perfectly fine? You hide under the bed, of course. Lemonade. I was hoping for coffee. Or maybe there's a coffee in the second pitcher. I don't think they can understand what you're saying. You're a girl, aren't you? Yes. uh, yeah, she probably legit doesn't. Hmm. She's kept in this room by Rafaed. Oh, and there's the coffee. I mean, it was brought in with the intention of Shalami drinking it, so. Oh, and Shalami's talking about Kless and Helck. And she throws Helck's name. She talks way too much. Yeah. Okay, she didn't mention Kless or Helck by name. Interesting. I really did not expect this turn of events. This episode really makes me question Rafaed even more. Mikaros I can see being crucial for the king's plans. Sure. But Rafaed, though? He's not a particularly powerful mage. He's not, as far as we know at least, he's not an acolyte of some elder god. He's not a chosen one of any sort, right? He's just a normal dude. Why was he not ascended? And even if he wasn't ascended, why wasn't Shalami? It really would imply that Rafaed is in a position where he can give conditions to the king and to Mikaros, where he has enough pull to say, hey, okay, I'm gonna help you, but make sure my daughter stays safe. Right? He's not just any random mook. So I wonder who the fuck is he? Curious. Oh, very curious. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. Next time, phase 2 of the Invasion. Recap OP. Just a random fight. Hura being really strong, as Hura is wont to be. And that was Alicia, right? Yeah, most probably Alicia. They hide her face for a reason. She has very long hair. And she uses a bow. There's only one person we know of that description. Long hair and a bow. Create a diversion, yeah, discussing the plan. Helck and Vermilio will probably legit be enough. And that will boost the success rate of... we convince them we can't afford to strike back. Right, we keep up the stalemate. We don't move out, we don't encroach on their territory. We make them believe that it's a stalemate, they can't push us, but we also can't push them. So they're not going to expect a selected task force to just enter into their territory. Makes perfect sense. Very good plan. It's a human, but one we don't want to mess with. I wonder who that mysterious human might be. Particularly strong. And close by. Can't be Kless, because we know that Kless is confined to the castle. Alicia? I can't see her being much stronger than Zelgion or Ediel, so probably not. The only other humans left would be Rafaed and Mikaros. Perhaps Shalami, but I don't think Shalami is particularly powerful either. So it would be either Mikaros observing the battle firsthand, or Rafaed doing the same, and it turns out Rafaed is really fucking powerful. I don't know. I don't know. Even if the humans had awakened their hero powers right, they wouldn't be able to kill the Demon King, would they? That makes sense, doesn't it? The demons are hella powerful. Or does Azadra not know of Kless? Because we know that natural-born heroes are stronger than awakened heroes. So while, okay, awakened heroes would not be able to defeat the Demon Lord, a natural-born hero would be. I don't know, maybe. Then again, there absolutely is something shady about how the Demon Lord died. Because, first of all, he was a pacifist, and Kless was a pacifist. So the chances of the both of them just fighting it out instead of talking it out are close to none. And Kless really came back battered from that battle, close to death, comatose. We don't know how exactly that battle went. If I recall correctly, Zelgion went with Kless, but he doesn't seem to have noticed anything shady. So either it had to happen in his absence, or he's in on it. And I really doubt that he would be a part of the plan, because he wanted to save Kless. He was willing to go against the king. So something shady happened in Zelgion's absence. Alternatively, someone killed the demon lord first, then pretended to be him and faced against class. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Either Human King or Mikaros or someone powerful enough to defeat both the Demon King and class. And I can see other characters besides the King and Mikaros being able to do that. Yep. Someone King Mikaros killed the demon lord, then posed as him and defeated class. It would also make sense from the perspective of class being left barely alive. Mikaros would know how much does he need to damage class so that he can be used for their plans and at the same time doesn't die. It really starts making a lot of sense. It really starts making a lot of sense, doesn't it? Asta Adventures. Yeah, gathering intel in a world where nobody wants to talk. Not as easy. You can't listen in on conversations in a tavern. You can't bribe people. You can't, I know, offer some food to a street urchin in exchange for information, right? You can't do the regular techniques of espionage. All the information she can gather, she has to gather on her own, either by listening into the select few angels who can actually talk or by finding documents. Yeah, and also she came into this place, into the human realm, with the thought of blending in, right? She has the hat to hide her ears, for example, but there's nobody to blend in with. You can't just disappear in a crowd because there is no crowd. On the other hand, the guards are legit brain dead, so I guess that makes it easier. Discussing Huram. And yeah, of course, Alicia would be the smartest one. That's one hell of a coincidence for Asta to just find herself in class chamber. I expected her to fall into the king's chamber, for example, and see from, I know, a ventilation shaft or something, see that the king isn't actually a king, isn't actually a thing. It's Mikaros who puts a bunch of, what was it, bees or something in a cloak and controls the king puppet remotely, or, you know, I fully expected her to discover something like that. I really did not expect her to see class. And this is interesting because she has absolutely no context for who Kless is. She doesn't know what she sees here. It's a bunch of purple blobs and a skinned human. That's all she sees here. Then a secret chamber. The book seems suspicious. By using its power and shall revive for our kingdom. Again, something that seems very important, but she has absolutely no context for it. I, as a viewer, I know that. Take this book, read it. It's probably gonna be hella fucking important. It's probably the king's journal or something. But she doesn't know that. Also, from this broken sentence alone, we can theorize a couple of things. I'd say we can theorize that. Actually, about the earlier, there was the mention of the castle, how all sorts of human countries were fighting for that castle. I wonder if the castle is what is truly important here. So I'm gonna note that down first. The castle is the key to heroification, which would also make sense because Kles is kind of tethered to the castle itself. That might be pushing it a little, but it makes sense in my book. And also the notes in this book by using its power. It's not his, as in heroes, it's castles, and shall revive for our kingdom. This would probably be the king's journal. Either king's or Mikaros's, but I don't think Mikaros would be careless enough to just leave it out in the open. I think he'd either take it to his current residence or he would burn it. This really seems like the notes from the period when the king was gaining power. Perhaps in a misguided attempt at saving their kingdom or protecting their kingdom or whatever, he became the creature that he is right now. He gave up his human form in exchange for the power that would then allow him to save their kingdom and revive his loved ones? Maybe. That might be a little far reaching from just a couple of torn sentences, but just in case. Just in case. The journal belongs to the king. He noted down his plans to revive his loved ones and protect the kingdom. To that end, he gave up his humanity and became who he is. That's another page of Helck notes done. That's already 2 pages, and that's a continuation. That's a continuation. Because we have another page here. 3 pages, and I only have half a page left. I hope it's enough for the finale. Until the finale. This is probably the most notes I took on any series so far. Legit. I don't think I have quite as many notes on Symphogear. And Symphogear, I had a lot of notes on Symphogear. Regardless, let's continue. This really is some kind of secret room. Yeah, it's gonna be useful as a hideout. If it didn't close. This is very curious. Why do we not see Rafa Ed's face? It's not without a reason. Like, sure, if we only saw his back, sure, whatever. He just happens to be positioned this way. But this is just blatant. This is a blatant attempt, well, successful attempt at obscuring his face. And then we also see him turn, and his face, his eyes are again cut off completely. Why? Why? That's one question. Second question, do I even have it noted down somewhere? That Rafa Ed is not is actually powerful. Rafael wants power. Rafael is 100% sus. That's how I have it noted down. Do I elaborate on that? How would I elaborate on that? I don't know. All I know is that Rafael is sus somehow. Why would his face be obstructed? He's coming back from his daughter's room and weeps at the thought of what happened to her life. I know, and they don't want to show him crying because it would make us more empathetic towards the characters. I don't know. I know that's my theory, but I think it's flimsy enough to not really be worth noting down. And we meet Shalami. I've been trapped up here. It's so boring. I don't get to talk with anybody besides my father. All the people who I cared about went off someplace. She doesn't know about the awakening? Maybe she does. But she certainly doesn't know what happened to Kles and Helck. That much is clear. And she's being kept here in this room to be protected from the atrocities of the current world. Right? Because she would not take well the fact that she's the last remaining human. Not counting Rafael. So Rafael is purposefully keeping her in the dark. That much, again, is clear. Why is Shalami and Rafael allowed to exist, though? That is the question. Rafa Ed has enough pull on the king and or Mikaros to guarantee Shalami's safety. I'm still trying to think of how exactly, why exactly. Again, Mikaros, I can see him being valuable, if not outright controlling the king. Rafael, though, he's just a normal dude. Oh. Something just dawned on me. Mikaros agreed to keep Shalami unascended in hopes of restoring humanity after the demons are wiped out. Seems like something he'd do. I wonder. Mikaros keeps Shalami around to repopulate the world, because it really doesn't seem to me like ascending all of the humans is a goal unto itself. It really seems to me like it's more of a tool. Purge the existing humanity, purge the existing status quo, use those tools, those soldiers, to conquer the entire the entire continent at the very least. And then what? And then what? Be the last remaining human? Surrounded by a bunch of brain-dead suits of armor? I know. Again, I still don't know the real true. We still don't know. We can't know at this point still the true motivations of the villains of this show. We know the motivation of, oh, destroy the demons. But it's very surface level. There's more to that. Why destroy the demons, right? Why antagonize them in the first place? Why turn them into antagonists? Humanity and demonkind were living together. Why change that? Right? Can't be greed, because there is nobody to divide the spoils among if humanity just doesn't exist anymore. You would have to be like incredibly vain and greedy to be essentially the last remaining human on Earth and worry about wealth and influence. Who would you exert your influence over? Who would admire your gold-plated mansion? Nobody. I don't think even Mikados would go that far in vanity and greed. King, I don't know. King still very much seems to me like a puppet. Doesn't have his own voice, his own motivations. I know, but there is some deeper motivation, 100%. Hide under the bed. Right, there's two conversations taking place here. So he had a big brother who was always standing behind him with a goofy smile. And it was hilarious because he never noticed. This always cracked me up. Yeah, she's talking about Helck and Class. When they were around, that they never went by, that I wasn't laughing. Say, do you know what their names were? I really expected Shalami here to say, oh, by the way, their names were Class and Helck. Boom. Cut to the credits. And the next episode is Adventures of Helck and Vermilio, and we don't know the fallout of Asta learning about the fact that Shalami is somehow connected to Helck. I fully expected that to happen. But no, she just doesn't reveal those names. I bet you'd find a picture of this too. The little brother was kind of a slow runner. Ah, boy. Oh, boy. I know, man. Anime is so confusing recently. I'm watching Madria Record, and I've no fucking clue what's going on there. I'm watching Helck, and I've no fucking clue what's going on here. I'm watching Shy, and I've no clue what's going on there. I am awaiting the day when the next episode of Shangri-La Frontier releases, because that's straightforward. It's great. It's great. I love it. Actually, out of curiosity, I'm gonna check out my other longer that had a lot of notes. Magia Records, 2 pages. Undead Girl Murder Farce, page and a half. Nanatsu no Maken Gashi Hai Suru. page and a half. Gundam Mercury, slightly over a page. Ancient Magus Bride, 2 pages, but that's 2 seasons, so 24 episodes, exactly like with Helck. Symphogear XV, 1 page. Oyuki Minokaina, almost 2 pages. Symphogear Axis, slightly over a page. Oh, Gundam Mercury, there's another page, so 2.5 pages. Madoka Magica, oddly enough, slightly under a page, and it was when my notes were much more spread out compared to the writing I have now. And yeah, none of those, if you were to sum it up, I guess maybe Symphogear would be on par. Maybe Symphogear would be on par with Helck, taking into account all of the seasons of Symphogear. It's been a while. It's been a while since there was a series that jogged my theory crafting spirit this much. I think Oyuki Minokaina was the last one that was this heavy into me wondering what the fuck is going on with the world. How did it get to that point? Symphogear kinda sorta as well, but not quite as much. Yeah, Helck is probably in the recent memory a show that I'm having a lot of fun with, just theorizing. Just thinking about what, when, how, all of the possibilities. And each episode gives me even more to theorize. Each episode validates a chunk of my theory, but also invalidates another chunk, and I'm left scratching my head again. What's actually going on? This show really keeps all the cards close to its chest, but every so often gives us a little bit of a glimpse, right? Oh, you can see that Shalami is alive. Do with that fact what you will. I'm not gonna say anything more. Do with that fact what you will, right? It's an endless tease that there is more. There is some actual answer to it. The author isn't just winging it. But we never get the full picture. And that's great, because theorizing really is just filling the gaps in our knowledge, in our understanding of a given show. If we aren't given any clues, then we can't even theorize, really. But it's precisely because every so often we get a little bit of a clue here, a little bit of a clue there, that really keeps us going, keeps us chugging along. Great episode overall. It really legit made me afraid for Asta. And it's not often that I'm legit afraid for a character in an anime. Usually it's fairly clear fairly early on whether a character is disposable and is going to die eventually, or they have the plot armor. Not so much in case of Helck. Like, sure, I can see the main cast having plot armor. Helck, for obvious reasons. Vermilio, I can see Azedra, Hyura, Kenros. I can see them having plot armor. Pee-wee. But the secondary cast? Not so much. I wouldn't be surprised if Dorsch sacrificed his life. I wouldn't be surprised if Hon was killed by the king. I wouldn't be surprised if Zalgion was the first one to go out without a resurrection. Right? Everything is fair game. Very good episode. I had a lot of fun. It's late, and I'm kind of sleepy. I'm gonna admit. I kind of went into this episode not knowing whether I'm gonna be, feeling lucid enough to record it, or am I just gonna be slipping down and down in my chair and yawning constantly? But no, I'm not sleepy anymore. I'm not sleepy anymore. I don't even need caffeine. How the fuck am I gonna fall asleep today? I don't know. All those theories are just gonna be cruising through my mind. Maybe I'm gonna dream of a solution. Maybe I'm gonna dream of one. I don't often have dreams that I remember. Today, I had a dream that I could remember. It was fucking weird, but I could remember it. I was in a school. I was enrolled at a school, at like a middle school. Fuck, I don't remember more. I just remember that I was sitting on some table and someone was checking my blood type. And there was a mechanical bull in the corridor of that school, but the headmistress ordered it disassembled and taken out. Man, it was weird. Hopefully I dream of a solution. I dream of how Helck goes further, and then we can compare my dreams, what my subconscious came up with what actually is going to happen. I only fear that by the end of this season we're just not gonna have enough answers, and I'm gonna be antsy, and I'm gonna be trying to look for them, and the other season will be nowhere in sight. And I'm gonna have to start reading the manga, and then I'm gonna catch up with the manga, and then the second season is gonna come up, and I'm gonna be like, oh no, do I record my videos on it? I've read the manga, I know what's gonna happen. Hopefully the second season gets announced soon. Is all I'm gonna say. So, I think that's gonna be it right now. But you guys tell me, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, all that jazz, down in the comments below, of course. No spoilers, as always, please. You can talk spoilers to your heart's content on my Discord here. It's also linked in the description below. Free, open to everybody, so feel free to join it. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos of not only Helck, but also Magi Record, Shy, Shangri-La Frontier, Shield Hero, Tate no Yusha, that is Shield Hero, and plenty of others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magi Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that, also down below. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Group of Survivors, Zayrainer, Akamancer, David, Dr. Watt, Marshall, KLF, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to evade the angels in a castle.